on that, and the tour as well.
Yeah,
Get Down
the
tour,
Get
right?
Down tour.
George Lopez,
D.L. Hughley, Eddie Griffin, and myself. We're still getting it. We've been out 4 years doing an arena tour. Like we're rocking it, man. So it's fun.
Good,
well, first of all, I know a few of those brothers, especially Eddie Griffin and my man D.L. Hughley. So it's always good to see him. And I'm so proud to see Tashina Arnold. This woman is special. First of all, she's from Queens, everybody. She's from Queens, all right. Went to LaGuardia High School in New York City.
Had a brother went to LaGuardia.
Starred on Martin, starred on the show Martin for years, and now she's with you as well. She's one of the phenomenal actresses in America.
What all
so
this
I appreciate it. It's just special. There we go. There we go.
Yeah, man.
let's talk about this. LeBron, Lakers out here in L.A. What do you expect?
I'm excited. I'm excited about it. I mean, I think that they're going to go further in the West than what people think. I think that people expect this to be this big litmus, and they got to take a long time to get it together. But LeBron's just one of the best ball players in the world. He's going to be able to galvanize the rest of these guys, and they're going to go at least. I mean, I'm saying at least second round.
What? Right. You see, he's second. That's max. I'm telling you, they're going to Western Conference Finals.
I might actually rock with you on that. I mean, in my opinion, Houston, they always do what they do. In my opinion, they always going to get there and then something happens.
You know what? I got to ask you this because obviously, your career spans more than 30 years, and obviously a vast majority of that time, I'm assuming, has been out here in L.A.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what it's been like for you to be out here over the last several years with these damn Lakers not even making the playoffs? Thank God for Magic Johnson's arrival, because we know how bad it was before he came back.
Exactly. I mean, we would go just to watch Magic be on, in the background in the audience. Just and then Jack stopped going to the game. You just didn't have, it was depressing to be at the Lakers game. But now you can just see that, the excitement, the ticket sales that went up. You can't, I used to be able to get on the floor. I used to just every now and then, whenever you need a TV shot, you just go and get on. You get floor seat. Now, I needed a #1 show.
So we were talking before the segment starts. You got the Bulls.
Bulls in my basketball.
You got the Steelers.
Steelers.
So I know where that comes from, because in this age group, the Steelers used to win the Super Bowl all the time when we were kids, and then the Bulls won it. We got to be like teenagers, right, every year. So do you think the Warriors can be that kind of team for this new generation, or is it still like LeBron because he's in LA? If the Lakers can do something, what do you think? Well, what's the next Bulls or Steelers?
I mean, for that, for this younger generation, the Warriors, that's their team. They grow up, they're gonna see these guys, and they believe in them like that. And I think they, for the amount of years that they've been, going to the championship, winning the championships, they've actually solidified that. Like now,
already,
it's. My little nephews and stuff, that's their team. Steph Curry, they know all the guys. That's who they want to be.
Steph especially, because Steph the kids relate to him. He's smaller. He looks like his face looks like
them all wearing Under Armour,
like a kid.
Tom Brady, really. He's their guy. Let me ask you this, because you mentioned that you're a Steelers fan. Stephen A. obviously is too. The whole Le'Veon mess, what's your take on that? Are you cool with him getting his money, or is part of you like, hey, they could have really made a run this year. This is not the year to hold out and do that? It
was very hard to watch those first games when the team when they weren't winning and it was looking really bad. And it's a way to feel about that. But as an athlete, I have to rock with Le'Veon on making sure that you get your money. And these deals, the way that they set up, again, you can go and hurt that money. It makes me think about Isaiah Thomas from Boston, when he had that hot year, they got hurt. He was supposed to make money.
Trainers messed him up. They got fired up. Messed up his whole career.
Exactly, and then all of a sudden, he's not in the money.
I saw. It's interesting you bring him up. I saw him last night at the Clippers game because he's on Denver, and they played. They played the Clippers last night. So I saw Isaiah Thomas. I'm looking for him to have a big season. But I will ask you this: when you consider what we're talking about here with Le'Veon Bell, what did you think about the players speaking out against him the way that they did once he didn't show up the first week of the season?
I think that happens on both sides because, again, when you're doing a team sport, you're out there, you go to work, you got your guys that's going to be in the trenches with you. And though you're supposed to get your money, you're actually on the team now. You're in a contract. Bruh, we need you. I know what you're doing with, but so that kind of contention just spurs it. And I think once they started to play and trust themselves, they got out of it. But those it gets chippy those first couple of days.
So you can understand their side as well.
Yeah, it was just a chippy moment, like where you like, I get it, bro, but like we need to win and we losing, and we losing bad.
But now they winning without him, and you got Big Ben Roethlisberger saying that he's going to ask for James Conner to get more carries even once Le'Veon Bell returns. How you think that's going to affect them?
And that again, that's the trickle down of it all. But because I was a little surprised that he actually gets to command or make the choice to come back after the bye and say, all right, cool, now I'm just going to show up and play. You like, well, that's a little shady, but. Again, he's under contract. He's doing it so he can get a bigger contract. But and the young guy's doing his thing. So you got to let him. You got to keep giving him and building him. Yeah,
big games.
You've been in the entertainment business for a long time. That's not easy. And I want to get back to the Isaiah Thomas. I think that's a great analogy, right? You have running backs in football, and the teams like at that position, the damage you take, we're going to try and use that against you, juice you without really paying you, right? Isaiah, too, he's small. We may get away with not paying him, and he's been underpaid his whole career. Even the previous contract, they underpaid him. What is the key, do you think, because you've stuck around for a long time, to guys like Isaiah or guys like Le'Veon getting paid? How do they do that?
I mean, you have to have, the kind of season, and you also got to have a temperament that people want you to be a part of their team. That's actually going to hurt Le'Veon in his new contracted situation.
You think that's part of your success, that people think that you're a good clubhouse guy too? You think that's important?
Yeah, that's very important. That's actually how I used to get raises when I worked for State Farm. It was like I was the worst claims adjuster in the world, but everybody wanted me around. It was like, come on, let's say it.
Good to work with. Good people. We want his energy around.
So I kept moving up. I actually had to make a choice. I was doing comedy, and I remember they were going to make me some kind of regional supervisor, and I was going to, at a young age, be making like 65, 70 a year, and I was doing comedy at the same time. I was like, if I take this money, I'll never do comedy.
So you don't take the short money, and you're a good clubhouse guy.
Exactly.
That's the advice. That seems to work to Le'Veon and Isaiah.
Yeah. State Farm.
I could have been an awesome State Farm rep, guys.
Been in those commercials and everything.
I got to ask you this, because LeBron is out here in Hollywood. And him being in Hollywood, listen, forget the LeBron, the basketball player. What about LeBron, the actor? Did you see Trainwreck? Did you see some of his performances? What are your thoughts about LeBron?
You know what? In Trainwreck, he was actually he was good in that one. That was a nice one, And then I think he's starting to get more and more comfortable. Even if you look at his barbershop show, where he's like just kind of in this natural environment, I think he's learning and recognizing that. I don't know if he should like dive into acting. It's always hard to see super tall actors.
Cool in the Gang Summer Madness commercial he did, where he played all the different characters, LeBron.
Yeah, but he's good. Is he doing Space Jam now? Is he going to do it?
Space Jam too,
Yeah, that should be interesting.
Do you think him coming was more about the opportunities of Hollywood or actually playing for the Lakers, because it's so iconic?
I would say for him it's both. I think, if you're such an iconic player and you've done it, in a city like Cleveland, and of course drew all the cameras to Cleveland, but now you have an opportunity to do it on the big platform. And you're LeBron James, you do that. Plus, again, he's building another aspect of his business with all the entertainment stuff he's doing. And he's produced great shows. Survivor's Remorse, a great show. I don't know, the game show, The Wall. It was interesting, and then and now the HBO show. But so I think it's smart for him to be, in this kind of area, and then to play for the Lakers. Gives it that.
As a fan. Not as a fan that's got the kind of clout to end up courtside at the Staples Center. I'm talking about the typical fan out there that's watching it on television. If you had your druthers, what would you want to see? Would you want to see the Boston Celtics in the finals versus the Lakers or versus the Golden State Warriors?
Boston against the Lakers, that's what I would want to see.
Of course.
We
know why. Well, the history, of course.
The history, of course, that's a big deal. But then the other thing is that like most sports, you feel like Golden State's been there so much, it just starts to be
right.
Yep. Cedric, we got to let you go.
Any regrets about not becoming, like, do you have plans to go back and try to master the claims adjustment thing? Or?
I never quit the job. I took a leave of absence.
Okay.
So
technically,
I still have my seat.
Still
Got your 401k and everything still?
Still intact. All right.
Cedric, always a pleasure to see you. Congrats on everything.
All right, definitely, y'all.
The consistency, you in this business, this long Hollywood, it's inspiring.
Thanks.
There's his wife.
Isaiah and Le'Veon.
All right, when we come back, some more first take.
Look at Smooth Daddy.
Look at it now.
Look at Smooth Daddy.
There he is.
In the building. Look at his shape, just sneaking up on us.